So today we're starting off with the brows. So I've got a spoolie here and just brushing them all up into place. And then I'm going in with my 31T brush from Inglot, which I love for brows. And I'm using my 16 Brow Gel, also from Inglot. I start with the arch of my brow first because that's, I guess, the worst part of my brow, and I want to fix that first and get that right, and then I just brush the rest of the product throughout the brow. Okay, so now I'm going in with my Inglot Cream Concealer in number 36. So I'm just taking this on quite a precise brush and carving out the bottom of my brows. So this is going to give you that really crisp brow, and it's also a really great tip for covering up any stray hairs that you have under your brow, so you've got a nice clean line. So now I'm taking the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and using this as a base today for the eyeshadow. I love this as a base for eyeshadow because it covers up all the discoloration on the eyelid, but it's also not too thick that it's going to cause any excess creasing on the thin skin of the eyelid. And then we're setting that with just any powder. I prefer to use a lighter colour just because then I feel like the eyeshadow colours that we put on top are going to pop a little bit more. But any powder will do. Just make sure it's nice and dry on those lids before we start blending. If it's too wet or creamy on the eyelids still, the eyeshadows are really going to start to grab and you won't get a nice smooth blend. Alrighty, so now onto eyeshadow. To start off today, I'm taking 368 eyeshadow from Inglot with my 6SS Big Fluffy Blending Brush, and I'm just roughly placing that through the crease and outer corner. So this is my first like transition shade. It's going to help everything blend back in. Alrighty, so next on the same 6SS brush, I'm taking 608 eyeshadow from Inglot. I'm focusing that slightly more on the outer corner and then up into the crease. As we get darker with the colours, we're going to be focusing them more towards the outer corner of the eye and less into the crease and the inner corner of the eye. So that'll keep it nice and dark on the outer corners and nice and light on the inner corners, so you don't look like you've been punched in the eye or anything like that. So once I've gone in with the 608 to deepen it up a bit, I'm then going to go in with a bit of 335. This is also an Inglot eyeshadow, and on the same brush. And again, focusing it more and more on the outer corner and less into the crease. And then I'm going in with a Models Prefer blending brush and 299 eyeshadow from Inglot and focusing that really on the outer corner. And then just once all the excess product is off the brush, I'll just brush it up through the crease just to blend it back in with everything else, but really focusing that darker colour more on the outer corner of the eye. Okay, so here's the exciting part. I'm taking my Inglot 9SS brush, which is amazing for carving out cut creases, half cut creases, whatever you want to call them. And I'm using the Inglot Aquastic in number 16, and I'm just carving out a cut crease basically. So taking that from inner corner and then just slowly taking my time, carving out just under where my crease is. And then when I get to about just over halfway across the lid, I'm just patting it to help it blend back in with the other shadows. Just really take your time with this step, don't rush, that's the key. Alright, so now I'm going in and popping our pigments on top of the cream eyeshadow. So today I'm going to be using 119 and 86 pigment mixed together. These are both from Inglot. The 119 is like a really nice rose gold color, and 86 is like a fuchsia pink, and together they make a match made in heaven. So I'm putting them on top of the Aquastic, and then I spray my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus and pat that over the top as well, just to prevent any fallout and make sure that everything's going to stay where I put it. Now I'm just going back over that blend with a rosy coloured eyeshadow. So this one's 303 from Inglot, and I'm just patting that over the transition just so everything blends together. And then taking a makeup wipe and cleaning up all of the fallout and mess, ready for the base. And just quickly before we do the base, I'm just going to run some eyeliner across the top of my lash line so that I can apply some lashes and then going to blend in. So this one is the Inglot 77 Gel Liner. It's amazing. It's waterproof, smear proof, does not budge. I'm just doing a really small, precise line with an angled brush, just, yeah, to help blend in the lashes. So I've gone ahead and done the eyeshadow on the other eye as well to match them up, and now I'm just popping on my eyelashes. Today I used the Dodo lashes in D115. They're mink lashes and they're amazing. They're like really full but also quite wispy at the ends, which means you can still see the eyeshadow underneath. Now I'm just priming my face with the Inglot green primer. So this one corrects any redness in the skin, helps eliminate all of that. So I was quite red in the skin on this day, so that covered that all up. And now I'm going in with the Inglot HD Foundation in 77 with my Beauty Blender and just applying that all over the face, buffing it in. And now for under eye concealer, I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape under the eyes and down the bridge of the nose. I'll leave the colour down below in the list of products. This concealer is hands down my favourite concealer at the moment. It's so full coverage and amazing and just like illuminates under the eyes so well. So I'm just again buffing that in with my Beauty Blender. Now for baking under the eyes, I'm using a mixture of the Mercier translucent powder and the Nye Banana Powder. I find this combination works really well because the banana powder brightens and the Mercier sets really well, but I find if I use the Mercier on itself, instead of brightening, it kind of goes a bit ashy instead because it's so white. So if I'm mixing the two together, it works really well for brightening under the eyes. And I also baked my chin too because it gets super oily. Now moving on to powder, I'm using the Inglot pressed powder in 66, using that all over and using it to brush off the bake as well. Then going in with bronzer, I'm using Give Me Some by MAC, which is my holy grail bronzer. I love it so much. So I'm just popping that under the cheekbones and up onto my forehead and under my chin as well. And for contour today, I'm going in with Hoola by Benefit, just on the little brush that it comes with. I actually love this brush so much for contour. I never used to use it. I've had Hoola for years and never used to use the brush that it came with. But I've recently started using it again and I love it. It gets that really nice sharp contour. So I just buff that in up under the cheekbones, under my chin as well to get that nice defined jawline. And then I put the excess just on the sides of my nose as like a slight nose contour and across the top of my forehead. Then next with that same baking mixture that I had before, the Nye Banana Powder and the Mercier translucent powder, I'm just applying that under my contour to clean it up. I got a little bit carried away and this makes sure that it's all looking super crisp. So while the bake's setting, I'm just going to apply some blush. So today I'm using MAC's Warm Soul. I love this blush. It's just like a nice bronzy kind of colour. It doesn't add too much colour to the cheeks, but just enough. And of course the new Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit for my highlight. So I'm taking the shade Daydream, which is a really nice like peachy, glowy, amazing highlighter, and just applying that to the high points of my cheeks and up kind of in a C shape around my temples. And I also apply a little bit to my cupid's bow and my nose. This colour pops so much and receives so well like on camera. I love it. And then I just go in on the very high points of my cheeks with a tiny, tiny bit of Forever Lit just to intensify it all. And then just wiping off the bake from earlier. And now I'm just creating some shadowing under the eyes. So I like to match the top to the bottom and balance it all out. So I just go in with the 335 shade that we used on the top. And then I also go in with 303, which was the rose shade that we used on top as well, so that some of the pink is coming through on the bottom lash line. And then just applying some mascara to the falsies and to the bottom lashes, using the Inglot Lash Enhancer. I love that mascara. So next I'm just spritzing myself with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus where my highlight is. And I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Inglot Sparkling Dust on top just to intensify it even more, because you can never have too much highlight, especially with a full glam look. Look at that. Makes it pop so much more. I love the Inglot Sparkling Dust. That was number 3 that I used, which is the more bronzy tone, because I want the look to be quite bronzy as well. And then I'm just going in and using the Nicole Guerrero Anastasia kit again under my brow bone. So I'm just using the Forever Lit white shade under the brow bone just to lift the brows a bit. I'm going to go for a nice nude glossy lip today, but I also want it to last all day, so on the actual lips I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick. I think it's in the shade I'm Nude. I'll have to double check and I'll leave it in the description box below. I believe it's I'm Nude though, and I'm using that all over. It's the perfect nude colour. It completely like blanks out the colour in your lips, which is perfect for when you're putting a gloss on top. And then I'm going in with the Kylie gloss in So Cute, which is a really strong, like thick gloss, so you get that real juicy, glossy lip look. And that is the completed look. I hope you enjoyed. Leave any questions you have below, and like, comment, and subscribe. I will leave all my social media links below. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.